Hello there, another week has passed and we're here together on another edition of Culture Mosaic. Now this time of the year is probably the most vibrant period as all activities and events nationwide are being held towards the biggest national holiday, which is the Lunar New Year or Tết holiday. And all reporters across the country were presented at the most major events to bring you updates on the cultural atmosphere here in Vietnam. Let's now check what we have in store for you. Making art from recycled glass. Vietnamese outside spotlighted in installation art. And expats discover cuisine in central Vietnam. We're now starting off with the most outstanding events that stirred up the local culture scene over the last week. Acrobats from the Ho Chi Minh Circus Troupe won a silver medal and the audience award at the Golden Circus Festival held recently in Rome, Italy. Their performance entitled Brave Warrior, directed by Tai Duy Ánh and Trần Mạnh Cường, earned the silver medal. The audience award went to artists Đức Thành and Ngô Tuyết Hoàn for their performance Artistic Frame. This was the 32nd time that the internationally renowned Golden Circus Festival had been held in Rome. It drew the participation of artists from 12 countries and territories from around the globe. Phan Đăng Di's latest film will premiere at the 65th Berlin International Film Festival of Berlinale, becoming the first Vietnamese film to compete for the top prize at the film festival. The film entitled Big Father, Small Father and Other Stories stars Đỗ Thị Hải Yến, Lê Công Hoàng and Trương Thế Vinh. This film is one of the 3 Asian films competing at the 65th Berlinale, including Gone with the Bullets from China and Taxi from Iran. Out of 130 film projects from 48 countries, Zi's film was one of the 4 to receive a grant of 40,000 euros from the World Cinema Fund, or WCF, at the Berlinale. Hanoi's Department of Culture, Sports and Tourism plans to restore the ceramic mosaic murals along the Red River Dike, which has recently fallen into a rest stage. Work will start in February to restore the colorful mosaic to its former glory. The mural, recognized by Guinness World Records as the world's largest mosaic in 2010, was one of the works that marked the 1000th anniversary of Thăng Long, Hanoi. Now compare with other traditional music styles which have been well preserved for decades. Some singing only received widespread public attention relatively recently. One of the latest efforts to bring some singing to a broader audience, especially for younger generations, is a stage show in Hanoi Opera House. Let's discover how some singing is being brought back to the stage with a contemporary twist.
The first part of the show featured traditional some songs which were popular in the northern provinces throughout the early 20th century. Meanwhile, the second part showcases contemporary some songs. These modern interpretations place new lyrics alongside old rhythms, or traditional songs fused with contemporary music genres, all of which have been improvised with the creativity of these young some artists.
Vì chúng tôi muốn hướng tới giới trẻ, muốn giới trẻ yêu nghệ thuật truyền thống. Và đương nhiên khi mà muốn giới trẻ yêu nghệ thuật truyền thống thì phải cho họ khám phá từ những âm nhạc đương đại mà họ đang rất thân thiết. Và sau đó thì họ cũng sẽ được dần dần tiếp cận với cả âm nhạc truyền thống kết hợp với đương đại.
On the stage, featuring props from Hanoi street dating back to early 20th century. Some is performed alongside modern musical genres, including hip-hop, body popping, beatboxing, contemporary dance, and world music. These young artists have their own reasons for loving their traditional sum-based creation.
Điểm chung giữa sẩm với cả hip hop thì nó đều xuất phát từ đường phố cả. Và khi mình tìm được những cái điểm chung đó, là tìm những cái điểm mà mình có cảm nhận được, thì bắt đầu là mình lại cảm thấy hay hơn và muốn tìm tòi nhiều hơn.
Because of these experimental performances, the show has not only drawn the attention of older audiences who lived through the days when sum was popular, it has also attracted a large number of younger audiences and foreign friends.
Very interesting. It's real life. It's a little bit of history and a little bit of the actual life of the country back then.
Làm cho cái nghệ thuật dân tộc, cái nghệ thuật hát sẩm mà lâu nay nó bị coi như là cái nghệ thuật của những cái người dân nghèo. Thế bây giờ ta phải tôn vinh lên một cái đúng mức của nó. Như vậy thì phải xây dựng một cái chương trình có tính chất là chính quy hiện đại.
In addition to revitalizing some singing through old songs blended with contemporary arts forms, these young artists' creations have once again proved the vitality of some in modern times.
For the first time, a set of 6 books about the complete academic history of Vietnam in Russian has been released in Moscow. More than 4,000 pages depict more than 4,000 years of Vietnamese history, thanks to a 4-year project run by 16 Russian, 6 Vietnamese, and 2 French experts. The Complete Academic History of Vietnam in 6 volumes is an international scientific research depicting Vietnamese history from the end of the 4th, beginning of the 3rd millennium to the year 2011. These books examine Vietnam in all aspects, including archaeology, ethnology, history, religion, culture, and politics. The first editions of the Complete Academic History of Vietnam were presented to Party General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng by Russian President Vladimir Putin at the end of November last year. The Complete Academic History of Vietnam in 6 volumes cost 300,000 euros to compile. The authors also plan to translate these books into English from 2015 to 2018, with a print run of 2,000 copies in the USA. The Prime Minister has green-lighted investment by the Vietnam Museum of Nature projects, following a proposal of the Vietnam Academy of Science and Technology. The museum will be built in an area of 32 hectares in the Quốc Oai Ecological Urban Zone, which is under administration of Quốc Oai District in Hanoi. Other areas to consider building the museum is in the Culture Tourism Village of Vietnamese ethnic groups in Sơn Tây Town, Hanoi. The project is divided in 2 phases, one from 2015 to 2020, and the second phase is from 2021 to 2025. So that's a quick recap of the most vibrant cultural events of the last week. Now on to this segment of culture and lifestyle. If you have an artistic view and want to combine it with our love for Mother Earth, why not consider making decorations from recycled items? What if you could have something more distinctive, striking, and customized that's also environmentally friendly? That's what we call making art from recycled glass. And let's find out more about this fascinating business in the following report. At first glance, you may find yourself thrown into a colorful world of bottles. It's surprising, however, to find out these bottles have been recycled. Reusing waste material is no longer a strange concept in Vietnam, especially for making decorations. When they're used for the right purpose and processed correctly, these bottles make extremely useful house decor items. Today, let's visit a souvenir shop that specializes in handmade products with a very special name, Ve Chai. Established a year ago, the shop has gained a good reputation in the handmade community for the creativity of its products. What is more, the owners have a real passion for the trade and quit their regular jobs to pursue this goal. After a long and painstaking creation process, these bottles will be made into beautiful items like this. And if you feel interested in them and want to know more about how were they made, let's have a closer look. Shop owner Đinh Thiện Tâm used to collect bottles from his friends. Now, their work is on a larger scale. He gets to restaurants and cafes to ensure he has sufficient resources for his business.
Trong cái quá trình làm thì tôi chia ra làm nhiều công đoạn. Thì cái công đoạn đầu tiên là thu thập chai. Nhưng mà khi mà cái chai tôi mang về rồi thì sau khi tẩy rửa cọ cái thứ đi rồi, làm sạch rồi thì tôi phải nghĩ ra được cái dáng nào phù hợp nhất cho nó. Mỗi một cái loại chai nó chỉ cắt được một vài kiểu phù hợp thôi. Mình cắt quá cao hoặc quá thấp thì nó cũng đều xấu cả.
Cutting is a crucial step to shaping the products. With these ideas in mind, Tâm cuts the bottles in a way to suit his ideas. These bottles will then be carefully crafted.
Sau mỗi chai khi mà cắt xong thì ở phía bên trong sẽ còn rất là sắc. Thì công đoạn mài như này là để mài cho làm sao cho nó nhẵn, để khi mà người ta có thể cầm vào được và nó không bị đứt tay.
Tâm wife Thúy helps her husband to decorate these bottles. From a hobby, the passion has turned into a fully fledged business. As well as making a profit, they also contribute to environmental protection.
Mình nghĩ rằng là cái sản phẩm của mình nó có một chút để có thể bảo vệ được môi trường, bởi vì là khi những cái sản phẩm mà dường như là đã vứt đi ấy, thì được thu gom lại, trang trí cắt gọt để làm thành một cái sản phẩm hữu ích khác, ví dụ như là chóa đèn, làm trồng cây hay làm lọ hoa. Thì mình có thể đem một chút cái mỹ thuật vào đấy để cho cái sản phẩm nó đẹp hơn.
These gifts then will be decorated in different styles to fit different customer preferences. The mugs, lampshades, candlesticks, and vases all attract many customers to Ve Chai as well.
Cũng là lần đầu tiên mình nhìn thấy những chai lọ này, rất là thích thú. Chắc chắn là có hữu dụng với những người mà có mắt thẩm mỹ. Và mình thấy đây là một sự kết hợp rất là mới mẻ.
Niềm vui lớn nhất khi tôi làm công việc này là tôi sử dụng được những cái đồ vứt đi để làm thành những sản phẩm mới.
It's not an easy task for someone to pursue his passion, especially when it poses many difficulties and challenges. However, Thúy and Tâm are an example of how it is possible to live their own dream. This dream helps them to contribute something meaningful to life and brought new life to these bottles. You are tuning into Culture Mosaic, a weekly journal featuring the rich cultural diversity of Vietnam and vibrant international cultural events happening around the country. We hope to become the bridge connecting artists and the works with our viewers out there. So don't go away, we have a lot more in this week's installment coming for you in just a moment. Everyone who's ever been to Vietnam is familiar with the image of áo dài, the traditional dress that perfectly enhanced the Vietnamese women's curves. But did you know that áo dài was not always fitted? or that it used to be worn by both men and women? As the first cultural activity to celebrate 40 years of diplomatic relations between Germany and Vietnam, an exhibition in Hanoi recently showcased vintage historic áo dài from the Huế Imperial City. The áo dài came from the private collection of an overseas Vietnamese in Germany and features multimedia installation artworks from a German artist. In this week's edition of On the Mic, let's come with VTV reporter Huyền Chi to meet the creators of this very special exhibition.
Cái giá trị truyền thống của mỗi một dân tộc thì có thể bị xâm hại, có thể bị lãng quên nhưng không bao giờ mất đi.
Những cái này là một cái sự mà tôi kính trọng, đi đâu là áo dài này, chứ còn mà bận ở cuộc là một cái sự vô phép.
Thông qua một là màu vàng này, hai nữa là có rồng này, mà lại là 5 móng này, thì có thể đoán được đây là áo của vua. Hoàng tử với cả các quan ở phía dưới thì chỉ được dùng rồng 4 móng thôi.
Now, the áo dài that we just saw featured in this very special exhibition came from the private collection of Dr. Thái Kim Lan, who is with me today. It is also my honor to welcome Ms. Veronica Witt, who is behind the installation artworks in the exhibition. Thank you both so much for being with me today. Thưa bà Kim Lan, bà đã bắt đầu bộ sưu tập áo dài của mình như thế nào?
Tôi bắt đầu bộ sưu tập áo dài của tôi cuối thập niên 70. Lúc đó tôi trở về Việt Nam và tôi nhận thấy chiếc áo dài biến mất trên đường phố. Tôi lại rất là tiếc nuối về cái chuyện đó. Và khi đó thì tôi bắt đầu cái cuộc đi tìm, cũng như là một cuộc tìm kiếm dị vãng của mình và con người của mình.
So Veronica, do you know much about the Vietnamese áo dài before you came onto this project? And what was your impression of these very authentic, very vintage áo dài?
When you come from abroad, you know áo dài. The first time you see them when you enter in the plane, so that you see the modern áo dài. And when I saw the first time the historic áo dài, I was overwhelmed from the beauty and from the fragility of these robes. And this is all about cultural heritage, and they're full of histories, personal stories, and also Vietnamese history. So I decided to find a way to get this together in the installation.
Thưa bà Kim Lan, mỗi chiếc áo dài này thì đều có một câu chuyện của riêng mình. Vậy thì bà có thể cho chúng tôi biết một chút về những câu chuyện này được không ạ?
Đối với tôi thì mỗi người hình như là mang chiếc áo dài này có một câu chuyện, và cái thân phận của người phụ nữ dĩ nhiên là không phải tất cả đều đẹp đẽ. Người phụ nữ nào cũng có nhiều cái sự khó khăn ở trong gia đình và ở trong xã hội, nhất là xã hội phong kiến. Nhưng mà tôi ngạc nhiên một điều là mặc dù họ chịu nhẫn nhục trong vai trò của họ, nhưng mà khi họ xuất hiện thì họ là xuất hiện rất đẹp đẽ và rất quý phái, cao quý. Thì những câu chuyện đó nó tô điểm cho cái áo, nó trở thành có một bề sâu, và càng tìm kiếm thì mình lại thấy giống như là một đứa trẻ đọc truyện cổ tích. Dạ, thì cái áo hắn cũng cho mình nhiều câu chuyện cổ tích để suy ngẫm. Vâng.
Dr. Thái Kim Lan was born and raised in Huế, but has spent the last 50 years living in Germany. There she has preserved the áo dài her family members helped to collect that once belonged to kings and high-ranking mandarins in the imperial city.
Oh, they're beautiful because they're pure silk and hand-embroidered, and it has a historical heritage that you don't see every day. It's actually the first time for me.
Titled "The Gold Color Bleeds Over the Green Leaves," Kim Lan's collaboration with German artist Veronica Witt is the first cultural activity to celebrate 40 years of diplomatic ties between Vietnam and Germany.
The history of this collection specifically is something which connects our two countries. So, these áo dài from the emperor's court in Huế were brought to Germany, were kept there safely during the times of war here in Vietnam, and can now actually be shown again in Vietnam.
With accompanying installation work features Kim Lan's áo dài, as well as historical photos, French colonial architecture, and the dongangs of the Vietnamese people. She also traveled around Vietnam to interview 7 Áo Dài experts and put their answers together to create a conversation about preservation, usage, and the meaning of Áo Dài.
Can you tell us more about the elements in this installation piece that you designed?
First of all, it was the idea to present these robes in a way which is not a fashion show and not an ethnological show. So I wanted to find a solution to hang them, to keep their dignity and their beauty, but to be very close to the people. It was the idea we had that it's not separated from the people, that they can really go close. And then it was really the work about, where do they come from? They come from Hue, from the palace. And then I remember that the biggest impression from the palace for me was the library when I was there 8 years ago. And it was still the old one, like we see now on the photo. And now it's gone. It's renovated, but for me it's gone. So it's for me it was all, what are you doing with cultural heritage? How do you show it? How do you present them? How do you take care? I wanted to show a lost place, and then, of course, it's a political system which is gone. It was time of French colony here in Vietnam, and then I saw this metal structure to close the windows here in Vietnam.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, I see so many French things here in Hanoi. So I decided to take this colony structure to hang the robes on it.
Tựa đề của triển lãm Màu vàng lồng lộng chảy tràn lá xanh là một câu thơ trong một bài thơ của bà. Vậy bà có thể giải thích ý nghĩa của câu thơ này được không ạ?
Điều thú vị là không phải tôi dùng nó, mà chính và Veronica viết đề nghị.
Yes. In a way, I had her poems at home, and I said, I think it should be something from her, the title. And then I looked in her book, and suddenly I saw this one phrase. I chose this sentence because there are two levels inside. You have you have an aspect of time inside, and an aspect of visuality. And so the yellow is walking on the pale leaves. For me, it was a kind of time is passing through, because when you say pale in German or in English, it's that the time, that's a kind of dying process. And so the royal yellow is walking on pale leaves.
Lúc đầu tôi rất ngạc nhiên, nhưng mà tôi thấy sau đó thì tôi thấy thú vị là tự nhiên có một người có thể hiểu mình đến nỗi mà họ lấy một câu thơ của mình để làm cái đề tài cho cái sự sắp đặt của bà.
Thông qua triển lãm lần này thì bà muốn gửi đến thông điệp gì cho khán giả của Việt Nam?
Quá khứ và những cái tác phẩm của quá khứ, nói chung là di sản văn hóa là một cái gì nó rất quý báu, và nó nằm ở trong, dĩ nhiên nó nằm trong cái dòng trôi chảy của lịch sử, nhưng mà đồng thời nó có thể nói cho chúng ta biết được cái truyền thống văn hóa của con người đi trước như thế nào. Áo dài nó thay đổi theo thời gian cũng như là lịch sử vậy. Chúng ta thấy từ cái áo dài rộng như vậy cho đến cái áo dài rất là khéo gợi, thì đó là một cái tiến trình suy tư, tiến trình về tư tưởng của cách nhìn nhận nhân sinh quan của người phụ nữ. Thành thử tôi muốn là người giới trẻ có thể biết được cái quá khứ của mình là như thế nào và cái truyền thống là như thế nào.
Thank you both so much for joining me today. Da Nang Central City, which is ranked as the most worth living city of Vietnam, is now home to 1,000 of expats from around the world. And Da Nang exquisite cuisine is one of the reasons to make foreigners stay longer or even move here to live. In Connecting Culture this week, let's discover Da Nang cuisine in a special food tour with Mitchell Honite, the creator of DaNangExperience.com, a website that provides all necessary information about Da Nang to expats.
Da Nang is Vietnam's third largest city. The city's charms include the central region's best-known foods, including seafood dishes, pork and noodle salad, as well as all kinds of rice cakes served with fish sauce, beef noodle soup and pork rolls.
Food is amazing.
The food is awesome.
Loads of great food here.
Cheaper than Hanoi.
Really like the atmosphere here.
I think the best choice I ever made in my life.
Among our special guests, we have Michel from the Netherlands. Michel now sees Da Nang as his second home. He loves Da Nang cuisine and always ready to be the tour guide to any expat who comes to the city. And he's even created a special website to promote the city to the world.
I'm an IT developer, and also because I can do my job anywhere, it makes it more easier for me to stay here in Vietnam. Still work for my Dutch company, and in the meantime I developed with my wife Da Nang Experience, which is great fun to do.
Da Nang Experience is the website designed by Michel and his wife Liên to provide information about Da Nang, including food, drinks, where to go, news and events. The information is based on Michel and Lien's experiences as a mixed couple.
Thì mình cũng muốn giới thiệu cho những người họ không biết tới cái ý tưởng vậy, muốn viết ra một trang website để nhiều người ở bên châu Âu như anh á, lúc trước thì không hề biết là ở Việt Nam là như vậy, và bọn mình cũng muốn truyền tải tới cho khách du lịch tới Đà Nẵng.
Now, let's discover Da Nang's cuisine with this couple and find out how they collect information for their website. Most of Da Nang's expats are mì Quảng lovers. Mì Quảng is a typical local Da Nang dish which originated from nearby Quảng Nam province and is one of the most popular dishes in the city. Mì Quảng is served with a toasted Vietnamese sesame rice crackers and various herbs common in Vietnamese cuisine. Shrimp and pork are usually the proteins of choice, followed by chicken, beef, fish and eel.
Mì Quảng is one of my favorite breakfasts. It contains everything you need in the early morning. It's made of rice and it's a soft noodle. And for me, the best mì Quảng is scallop. It's a fresh fish combined with vegetables, and especially the rice cake I love a lot. After a good mì Quảng, we love to have a good coffee. Let me introduce you to some friends and have a coffee.
Cafe life seems to be an integral part of urban living. This coffee shop is a favorite hangout for Michel, Liên and their friends. From casual chats with local friends like this, the couple can find out information about life in Da Nang.
Trang web Da Nang Experience được xây dựng bởi một người nước ngoài về thành phố Đà Nẵng. Thì mình nghĩ cái nhìn của nó là cái nhìn từ con mắt người nước ngoài. Thì bản thân cái trang web thì rất là chuyên nghiệp, mà cái giao diện của nó thì rất là sống động và cập nhật được những cái tiện ích hiện đại cùng những cái thông tin mới mẻ về nó.
The typical Vietnamese typical fish sauce that helps nail the flavor of many dishes might smell bad to many foreigners, but once they taste the dish and get used to it, many become addicted.
It's now lunchtime, and I would like to invite you to have a typically Da Nang bánh xèo. Bánh xèo is made of rice cake, and it's just perfect for a lunch. Come, follow me.
At the very end of this small little alley on Hoàng Diệu Street lies the most popular place to eat traditional bánh xèo, or seedling pancake. Grandmother Dưỡng's bánh xèo. Bánh xèo is a fried pancake made from rice flour and turmeric. The pancakes are filled with bean sprout, beef, shrimps, and vegetables.
Bánh xèo is for sure one of my favorite dishes for lunch. It's healthy, it is great, and especially the peanut sauce. It's just irresistible. I hope you enjoy it as much as I do.
I guess by now you have fallen in love with the local cuisine. the environment, the people and culture of Da Nang. Thanks to special friends like Michelle, the city as well as Vietnamese cuisine and culture has become more popular worldwide.
I hope that you find the food attractive and so make time to visit Da Nang and taste those dishes one day. And that's also the last segment we have for you today. Any comments and suggestions are welcomed as always at culturemosaic@vtv.vn, and we are online 24/7 at vtv4.vn. And you can always find videos of previously broadcast programs on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/vtv4go. Thanks for watching. This is Lan Anh and goodbye for now.